April that bought his clothing business? I didn't know Hugh had a clothing business. Oh, yes. Not very fancy clothes, you understand. The more inexpensive lingerie and the women's pantsuits of... What do you call it? It's fake. Polyester, Meg said. Polyester. This is where I met Hugh, of course. I was a runway model. As I said to Hugh, a woman who has been a runway model for cheap lingerie does not mind being a dog catcher. He did not seem to like that much. She giggled. Quill said, floundering. She didn't know Hugh Summerhill very well, but she had heard his family was from upper-class Boston. He looked the part, that was for sure. About this dog. Selina pushed a tendril of black hair from one eye. You must keep its attention, Meg. While Quill obtains a bribe, it is the way of the world. Even dogs must be bribed. I will sneak up on it and be ready to pounce. But first I will get the catch collar. I'll sing to him, Meg said. It's very soothing. I've tried it on the sous chefs. Which is why we go through so many, Quill said. Keep it sotto voce, Meg. You don't want to get bitten. Very funny. Meg crouched on her heels, facing the garden shed. The dog raised himself at the sudden movement and regarded her for a long moment. How much is that doggy in the window? Meg sang. Her voice, Quill always thought, was reminiscent of very small trains changing tracks. The one with the waggly tail. It's going to howl, Quill predicted. It did. Selina muttered something in Spanish. Quill bit her lip to keep the giggles back. I'll get some food or something, she said steadily. I'll be right back. She made her way up the flagstone path to the inn at a rapid clip. It was a Monet-ish sort of morning in spring. A misty rain settled like silver mesh over the newly green grounds surrounding Hemlock Gorge, blurring the lilacs into soft lavender and muting the pale yellow of the jonquils. The inn occupied the highest point of the cliff over the waterfall. Usually the sound of falling water in spring was one of Quill's pleasures, an oral painting surrounding the visual beauty. At the moment, Meg's off-key crooning denying the desire for goldfish or parrot mingled unfavorably with the dog's counterpoint tenor, and the natural music of the falls receded. The view today wasn't the pleasure it usually was. Maybe it wasn't the dog and the singing. Maybe it was the fact they were going broke. Quill shook off the thought and entered the inn through the back. She shut the door on the noise. It didn't help the volume much. The inn was solidly built. Most of the structure dated from the mid-18th century, and parts were even older, but the double-hung windows facing the perennial gardens had been opened to the fresh spring air, and the ululation found its way through with the persistence of a collection agent. Quill went through the short hall leading to the kitchen. Mid-morning was one of the few times of the day when the kitchen was empty. The breakfast crew was on break in the dining room, and preparations for lunch wouldn't start until 11. With luck, she could grab the stew and escape outside without having to deal with questions about the canine, 3-star chef chorus or the endless other minutiae that were part of her days as manager of the inn. Like how to pay this month's gas bill, or how to keep out of filing for Chapter 11. It's not bankruptcy, Quill, their attorney, Howie Murchison, had said. It's protection from bankruptcy. She headed for the glass-fronted refrigerator where Meg kept her leftovers. What in the devil-dyed heck is all that noise? Doreen, Quill's head housekeeper, chief nemesis, and, Quill freely admitted, one of her best friends, banged through the double doors leading to the dining room and addressed Quill, one hand on an aproned hip, the other armed with a mop. There were days that Doreen looked more like a rooster than others, and this was one of them. Her sparse gray hair spiked over her head like a cockerel's comb, and her eyes were narrowed into birdy black beads. Meg and the dog, Quill said briefly. She opened the refrigerator door and began to search the shelves. Why are you out playing with that damn dog when all we got staying here at the inn is that ladies' organization, and they'll be gone as soon as that president of theirs shows up for their meeting? You should be out banging the bushes for business. Doreen leaned back and addressed the ceiling. Who was that damn fool Italian who played the fiddle while the whole place burned down around him? Nero. That's the one. Nero.